also led me into situations where I was also taken advantage of by men. So that was also like another layer of trauma of like, oh, okay, so this belief that I already had is merely being reinforced. And so that was another reason why I knew I needed to go to therapy too, because I knew that obviously it's not all men, but when someone's perspective is their perspective based on the experiences that they've had, how can you tell them different?
Yep.
But yeah, I'd say I definitely had a very like, ready to fight.
So yeah, this is my book. It's out. I had my book launch. It was super beautiful, successful. Yeah, the energy was super dope. Like me coming from a space of being emotionally numb, emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
And now exploring what this energy emotion is and where these things come from. Like I said in my book release, where does the anger come from? Where does it stem from?
Yeah.
What's the root of it?
Hold on. Quick question. How our family started? Nope. Hell no. Fucking. Sex. Doing the do. Knocking boots. Man, and that's exactly how I started my last podcast with my grandma front row seat. Man, make sure y'all come and see my next live, September the 29th, baby. Doors open at 2:45. We gonna start shooting at 3:30 p.m. at P30, your favorite spot. Man, who knows what I'm gonna say next, baby? Make sure you bring your grandma. I might say.
Peace, family. Welcome to another edition of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. We are the number one podcast for individuals seeking to end generational dysfunction. What's good, cuz?
What's
What's good with it?
I want to say, man, it's just, man, I'm normally not even this type of guy. You know, I normally don't do RPs and frees, man, even though I got a lot of guys gone, but this was a core brother, man. What's easy, little head, bro? Man, we grew up together, been knowing my little bro since elementary days, bro. So, hey, what's easy, bro? You know what I mean? But shit, I'm on a good note, though, man. You know what I mean? And I don't mean it like that. I mean it on like, man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling like, I'm here on this note. You know what I mean? I was feeling kind of guilty a couple of days ago because, I'm a guy, and all this and that. And I'm here on this, high spirit on this new level of life. But I feel good, man. So I'm going to keep that ball running, man. And we're going to keep the show going, man. I just had to throw that out there, man.
Yeah.
But, man, today we got another one, baby. We
We do.
The damn monitor flicking, y'all, man. So it's throwing me off.
We rolling with it.
See himself act, and it's throwing me off. I want to see myself move. I want to see myself groove. I like watching myself. You know what I mean? Hey, we got another one today. We got another one. She got her own podcast. She's an artist. She's a songwriter, singer. I done saw her a couple performances. See, what I do is I do my homework. I stalk you like a stalker. You know what I mean? So I've been watching you and all that, and I like your podcast. You got a very even your voice when you talking is very smooth.
Thank you.
Got a very smooth. You got that player in you. You know what I mean? A player see a player when a player know a player. I see a player. You got that smooth talking. So can you introduce yourself, Miss Kyndl?
Hey everyone. Hey you guys. My name is Kyndl. As he said, I'm an artist. I've been making music all my life, essentially. It started with poetry, but more recently have been taking it serious for the past 4 or 5 years. It was something that I felt like God, graced me to do when I first started it. But as of recently, he's transitioned me into podcasting. So I've always known that my voice was a part of my purpose. And yeah, so I'm an artist. I have a podcast, as he said. It's called the Keys and Seeds Podcast, Unlocking Purpose by Planning Potential. It's where faith, healing, and artistry meets. And yeah. So I appreciate you guys having me. I'm excited for the conversation.
And your voice is still doing. You still got the message, right? Like I didn't even know that you got that message that your voice was your key. Your voice is very smooth. Listening to your podcast.
Thank you.
It's not hard. It's not hard to listen to. It's smooth. And I feel like you be calm, real calm when you're on there. Like I be like,
Yeah.
real in a good way though.
Yeah.
It's bringing, it's a welcoming way. It's not just calm like, oh man, it's a welcoming calm. Like, hey, how you doing? Come and sit down with me and have this conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I appreciate you reaffirming me with that too, because sometimes, like I mentioned it to you off mic, but me podcasting is something that's still new for me, right? Of course, I'm an artist, but with artistry, right? Like I have to be mindful of, you know, my delivery and how I inflect my voice. With using my voice, sometimes I feel as if I have to, you know, show up a certain way, you know, with my voice, but yeah, still just trying to get comfortable within it and find my own voice. So I appreciate that for sure.
No, I mean it too though. I'm not just saying.
Oh, that's dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hear the power and the peace in your voice at the same time.
Thank you.
So that's phenomenal. Like
power
just being able, it's very soothing.
Thank you.
Just to hear you speak. You definitely have the power to put people at ease with the words that you speak.
Thank you.
It's the tonality of your voice.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's get, we got into the voice of Kyndl. But who is Kyndl? How would you introduce yourself? If somebody came up to you and was like, hey, my name is Sean. What's your name? How would you introduce yourself?
I'm a woman of God first. Grew up in church. More recently started to know relationship and not just religion. Earlier this year, I got rebaptized. So, of course, my faith is very important to me. I would want people to know that I'm a Christian, first and foremost. Created by the Creator. I'm a creative, as we already talked about. And yeah, I'm someone that just is someone who truly wants to be seen and heard and help others be seen and heard.
How was it growing up? How were you? Were you the same person who you are now? How you just calm, collected person? Was you always calm and collected, or was it life that made you calm and collected? Like,
I feel like it's
asking, how was your childhood?
For sure.
That too.
For sure.
So answer that question.
For sure. So it's definitely a little bit of both. I'm also in therapy too right now myself. And so I've been realizing, I think just naturally my personality type is introverted, right? Like I'm naturally a calm, collected person. But I would say definitely over the years too, like my childhood trauma, of course, all of those things, it has made me more of like a shell of myself at times. So it's like that times 10 a little bit. As far as like my upbringing, single parent household, you know how that goes. My dad kind of was like in and out, but also too like my mom, even though she was there, she wasn't really there. And that's no knock to her, but I have a younger sibling that has chronic health issues, so a lot of her time and attention went towards my younger sibling. So I felt like just growing up as a kid, I spent a lot of time just on my own, dealing with my own stuff. So it's like I feel like it's a mixture of my personality has naturally just been, you know, to myself. I'm a writer, so naturally I don't always speak or say too much, but also too just life experiences that I've had. I feel like it was just that times 10.
I can relate to that. I can relate to that wholeheartedly. And also, I'm actually starting back therapy till next month on the 10th.
Congrats.
It's some things that I've noticed in myself that people close to me had to call me out on.
Yeah.
And it was like and I talked to Miss Wendy about this too. She helped me see this too. Like this time of the year, I was always setting an appointment with grief instead of setting an appointment with joy and celebrating the people I lost. I would always get down in the funk. And that was affecting how I was showing up in my relationships.
For sure.
And I'm like, I process it. It sounds good.
Yeah.
I have to create a new habit.
For sure.
So I'm seeking that help to help me create a new habit.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So, but her connecting that, shout out to Miss Wendy too.
Shout out to Miss Wendy. What
Shout out to
camera?
her.
We right here. Shout out to Miss Wendy, Silver Fox
Shout out
Media.
to her.
Shout out to the family. So she helped me put that in perspective. And but she didn't know prior to that conversation I was about to get back into therapy. And I was like, so thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that. First and foremost, there's a lot of people that don't even are ashamed of like going to therapy.
Yeah,
like, nah, bro, sis, you good?
Yeah, you have to have a lot of courage, but
for sure,
it's like either you gonna sit with yourself or run for yourself. And it's like we only got one life. The relationship that you have with yourself is the longest and most intimate relationship you ever have. So it's like at some point, it's like you can't outrun God. You can't outrun yourself.
Yeah. You realize, like, you know what? I need to go to therapy. What was your moment before that?
So I've always been someone that intellectualizes their emotions, and so Sean, even just listening to you talk about your experiences and wanting to get back into therapy, I knew that I needed to go to therapy because I've always been self-aware, but at the same time I always knew that it was still toxic shame. So I'm like, I know what I need to do, I know what I need to change, but I'm like, I don't know how to take that step. And so sometimes me having conversations with other people and having like that feedback of a different perspective reflected back to me is sometimes what helps me. I've always been just super into psychology and just all of the things like that. And so like just going down the rabbit hole of like trying to figure out the why. Like I'm the person who wants to know the why to everything, like just intellectualizing all of what I feel. And so knowing that I know and I have all of the information that I have, but it still didn't change the decisions that I was making, and it didn't change the fact that I still wasn't feeling or processing my emotions. That's when I knew I needed to go to therapy. Because it's like I have the information, but I'm still stuck. How do I get unstuck? And I feel like that's what therapy has been helping me with.
I resonate with that 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, that's good. Some good shit.
I think what a lot of it is with therapy, a lot of people who don't. I ain't never been to therapy. I can speak on the people who ain't been.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it is because, first of all, like a person like me, I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. Then a lot of times I feel like people can't relate.
Healing is messy.
So yeah. So it's like, I give both of y'all gratitude, man. Going to therapy is a different aim of life. Let somebody you don't know get to know you and try to help you out. Man, bro, that's opening up.
Man.
Like, see, everybody think I'm an open book, but if you really get to know me, you realize I'm just friendly. I'm not an open book.
For sure.
An open book is different than being friendly. I'm just very friendly.
For sure.
Not an open book. So that's.
I feel like in a way it's the opposite for me. Like I'm an open book, but it's hard for me to be friendly with people. Like I feel like I definitely still have my defense up with people that I don't really know, but knowing that I face myself and I'm not really like ashamed of anything anymore, it's like I can talk about it with anybody. But yeah, I feel like I'm more of an open book than I am friendly a lot of times.
You're like the divine feminine version of myself. That's crazy. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I talk about whatever.
Yeah.
But I ain't about to be like, hey, what's up? I ain't about to be in everybody's face.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I was saying this for a minute. Like I don't even got friends. It's like this is when I was less mature. When I was in college, it was like you either family member or we don't associate. Like that's how I treated everybody. I had no friends. I ain't had no friends.
Yeah.
He was
No.
Okay.
She went to Ball State.
I went to Ball State.
It's so unfortunate.
No, I'm like, I feel you. Because I feel what he's saying.
Yeah.
He was with the ISU. He studied. He had this dude, when he gave so many tours, y'all won't believe this. Guess who he gave a tour? My wife. He done did so many damn tours. He didn't even give my wife a tour. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping I was in his thing. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, my cousin give me a tour. So man, he did tours. He did speaking. So because I couldn't tell that you felt like that. Man, you probably felt like that, but you was friendly.
Real shit.
You was friendly, cuz you talked to everybody. Cuz everybody knew you, cuz. Everybody didn't know you, cuz.
Nah.
Stunting, man. He was Mr.
Nah.
ISU. He was on magazines and everything. Man, I'm not bullshitting. They probably still use one of his pictures to this day.
Oh, they do.
That's
They
funny.
do. I already know they do.
Shoot. Hey, man,
Yeah.
stop disclaiming this too, because I'm your manager, man. We getting your money, man.
Oh yeah, I got. Hey, look, I got a list. Hey, look,
so
I got a list
I'm
today.
saying is right.
Look, I got a list today. Hey, we about to.
Money.
I got a list today. We're gonna talk about it. I got a whole little. I got a whole door in there. I know. I got. It ain't gonna be a couple of dollars either.
Yeah, you is Mr. ISU. You did a lot. Claim that, man. Tell them to give you your money.
Yeah.
And tell them your cousin came up with it, so he needs some funds too. Shit. But no.
For sure.
What?
We coming.
What? It's been an artist. I know. Cause how long you been an artist?
So I first started putting out music 2018.
Okay.
So 5 years ish.
So what has been your? I know I just was up subject like that. What has been one of your? Cause I always wanted to be. Back in my younger days, I wanted to be a rapper. I always wanted. I always wanted to get on stage and rock the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how did that feel? Because I saw you got on a couple stages. I'm like, oh, okay. So
yeah.
As somebody who's been inspired and wanted to be at that moment, how did that feel? And what was your best memories from being on stage? And what was your worst memories from it?
So before getting into music, I did color guard. So in a way, I've already been used to performing. It was just different performing my art because I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my shit, you know? So taking that leap of faith of sharing something that's personal to me was still nerve-wracking. But before I had got to that point of actually sharing my music with people, I was writing music and I'm like, I like this, but I don't like it enough to share. And then I had finally had something where I'm like, no, I gotta share this. And so once I had put it out, and then other people affirmed me, it was like, no, this hard. Like, so when the tape coming, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is what I do now, you know? So that's kind of like just how it happened, you know, like getting to a place of being confident in what I'm sharing with people and then it being received in a way that I wanted it to be received. And so from there, it was just doors of opportunities that had came. And I'd say, you said what was my favorite or my least favorite memory? Favorite memory, I would say this is something that I don't ever like speak a whole lot about myself, but other people be like speaking about it and questioning me about it. But I was on Netflix Rhythm and Flow, and that was like early in my career too. Like, had first started putting out music.
I know her, man.
Yeah, I had first started putting out music, and I had came across on social media the fact that Netflix was coming out with this show. And at first I wasn't even going to apply for it or, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, okay, it's TV. Y'all already got who y'all want, you know, type vibes. Also, too, I'm at Ball State. Like you said, I went to Ball State, for those who don't know. And while I was there, I'm like, realistically, I'm not about to leave school and go do that. So heard about it, didn't think nothing of it. Was up late one day in the library, just filling out the little application form just for, you know, shits and giggles. And they actually called me back, was emailing me back, was in contact with producers, went through the whole process of being flown out, and I auditioned for the show. And I didn't get a yes or, you know, get through the audition like in person. But that was early enough in my career where I'm like, oh, okay, this is really just confirmation from God for me personally. That's how I took it, that this is what I should keep doing. And that's exactly what I did. So I would say that is one of my favorite memories. Least favorite, I've worked with some pretty crappy videographers and, you know, just different people that you have to work with as an artist in order to make your vision, you know, come to life. You know, just not using discernment with the people that I share my vision with and, you know, I work with. And sometimes projects that I really was invested in ended up going left or not, you know, didn't see the light of day because I'm, you know, linking up with the wrong people. So I'd say like that's my least favorite memory in part of being an artist, like having to work with different people because obviously I can't do it by myself. None of us can get anywhere by ourselves.
Agreed.
But
again.
exactly.
Facts.
But yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
I had a discussion with my guy, man. I said, bro, why you know? I said, man, why you didn't ask me, bro? You could always ask me for help, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know I like doing shit by myself. I said, bro, that's the nigga way. I said, we man, and I mean, cause I use nigga, I use nigga as a derogatory, whatever word.
Derogatory.
Derogatory.
Tomato,
tomato, you get it. You know what I mean?
derogatory.
Yeah, however you say the damn word. You know what I mean? I know what it means.
Yeah.
God damn it. But I use that, so man, that going alone can't never win, bro.
Man.
Everybody that you could name, bro, had a team. From people, the most powerful people, every powerful person had a team.
Literally.
Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, you know what I mean? Marcus Garvey, we can go on, you know, W. Du Bois, you know, even Carter G. Woodson, you know, they all had people behind them. It wasn't just one person show. And that's right now, I don't know where they got in our heads, but that's one thing we gotta get out of that, man. We gotta get out that Kobe number 8 mentality that we can shoot the ball. We gotta realize that, man, it's when it's time to pass the ball, it's time to pass the ball. When it's time to rebound, it's time to rebound. Sometimes it's time to play defense because nobody on your team got the ball. So I gotta play defense, figure out how to win. You know, so man, it's a family effort, a team effort that we pushing on this podcast. We really doing it. Your first team should be your family.
Yep.
Your first team should be your family. And speaking on that, like, I know you said you and your mom, you know, ain't got the strongest relationship. So I ask you this on the future. How do you feel you want to come about with your kids, or if you feel like having kids in the future on your lineage, because this is all about lineage, on your lineage, what you gonna do different? Because I don't know, I don't care how people say how real or how fake it is. Willie Lynch letters is. It's real in our society. Shit that's in it going on, and a lot of that is happening. The mom versus daughter. It's just not. It's not. I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying that it's not just you.
For sure.
It's a lot of people, man.
For sure.
In the black community. So what I'm asking is, what can we do different? What are you gonna do different? Give somebody inspiration that's probably, you know, in the same boat as you.
For sure. So, as I mentioned earlier, my faith is very important to me. Yeah. I'm the type of person, my answer is gonna always be God, the Word of God. So to answer your question, I feel like where we are today is because of a lack of fear for God and relationship with God. Truly. There's a lot of people who say that they love God, but it's a lot of people that are still lukewarm, double-minded, like just not truly taking God's word serious. And so even just speaking to you, mentioning the fact that we have mother against daughter, the word says that a household is going to be divided. The father is going to be against his son. We see one of the first murders in the Bible between siblings. So literally all of what's happening in the world today can be pointed back to the word of God. And so what I would do differently with my children is pointing them to it. I grew up in church, so I do thank my mom for planting those seeds of being aware of the word. But, and this is also no knock to her, but I did not truly see my mom walk out the example that I needed someone to walk out as a follower of Christ. I think a lot of times in our culture, having a relationship with God is merely reduced to going to church, but not living out what it is we know that we should be living out. And so for me personally, I'm doing the work now with being in therapy, developing my relationship with God to where it needs to be, so that I can be able to then not only be the example, but teach that to my child. To answer your question.
I love that. That's a very, very dope perspective. I know when we were talking about, we were at a conversation the other day, and we were talking about liberation and the intersectionality of liberation and what that looks like. And I know the dynamics of that, right? With all the multiple hats that we wear as just a human being. Like, we wear hats as, like, for me personally, I'm a son, I'm an uncle, I'm a nephew, I'm a grandchild, I'm a mentor, I'm a business owner, I'm still my own individual person,
right?
And that's what some people are parents,
right?
You know, some people got to raise other people's children, foster parents. So it's all of those different hats that we wear. We neglect ourselves.
For sure.
And from what I'm hearing from you, and what you said at the beginning too, it starts with self. But when we get away, you say we got away from God because we don't spend enough time with ourselves to get that connection.
Yeah.
With that divine source, whatever that be, Allah, Buddha, God, the universe, multiverse, Shiva, whatever that look like for you, the ancestors, whatever that looks like for you individually. When we spend the least amount of time with ourselves, we lose that connection because we have all these different hats on without grounding ourselves in something spiritually.
For sure.
And that's what when you said what you said, that's what I heard. That's like the behind the curtains of what you just said.
For sure.
From my perspective.
If you don't know who you are, the world will try and tell you who you are.
Absolutely. So
society will try and tell you who you are, including all of these different positions that you just named that you play within the greater society. But you still have to know who you are. Because aside from being someone's sister, being someone's daughter, I'm still me.
Absolutely.
That's how we're going to start this episode. That right there, how we're going to start this episode.
And that's the way, that's the most liberating way to be able, in my opinion, that's the most liberating way to get your family back together.
For sure.
If you identify yourself as some type of leader, and I think everybody has leadership qualities, they just have to be in an environment to be able to pull those out in a positive way.
For sure. And there's different leadership styles too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
We all got different styles. I've been learning that by studying our history, man. Because if you look at it, W. Du Bois and Booker T, they was at it. And I think W. Du Bois was at it with Marcus Garvey too, man. I was like, man, look at all this missed opportunity that we had, that we missed. That them greats wasn't always, divided. It's crazy. You just do this family, but how is your family? Is your family all together? Do y'all be having family gatherings and
well, who's the leader of the family?
Yeah.
Speaking of leadership, who's the leader of your family? Who leads your lineage? Who leads your family?
That's a great question.
How big is your family? I know you said you got one sister.
So I have a younger brother. So growing up in my household, it was just my younger brother and my mom. And then on my dad's side, there's multiple different homes. So also knowing that growing up, I didn't have a relationship with my dad. Now, as an adult, I'm trying to have relationships with other people, other siblings that I have, aunts, uncles, whoever on my dad's side, but it's different when you didn't grow up with them and
Yeah.
when people have different upbringings, people have different values, people have different perspectives. And so it's like, this family, if we come together for a specific event, right? We can be cordial, we can speak, but I wouldn't say I necessarily have strong relationships with anyone. So that's a great question. I don't even know. I feel like in a way, like I said, I lead myself in a lot of ways and I allow myself to be led by God. So really the leader of the family is God. I'm always pointing back to God.
Nah, that's real. But like with our family, and I know Cuz would agree with this too. Our family, the leader of our family, just on the Gaddis side of the family, I'm speaking. That's where we have common ancestry. It was Uncle Ted. Uncle James was the leader of the family. He was the one that kept everybody that.
I'm not agreeing because he was my grandpa.
Yeah, absolutely. He was the leader.
Did not notice until he was gone.
He was the leader.
After he was broke, I never realized his backyard was our family reunion.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know the last time I've been to like a family reunion since then. It always was his backyard. No matter if it was a holiday, no matter what it was, a party, even for your birthday. If you wanted, I'm not lying. If you wanted space and place to throw your birthday, if you family, grandpa, Uncle Tip, you know he would have threw. Yeah, Uncle Tip, I'm trying to throw a party in your backyard. Yeah, come on over. He gonna party, and that mother gonna be rocking. He gonna invite. And for some odd reason, even when our families was at odds, everybody still came because it was stuff going on back then, but it wasn't as bad for some odd reason. It seemed like it got, it didn't get swept under.
It was neutral. Coming to Tip House is neutral.
Yeah, it's like, all right, look, we at Tip House, we about to squash this, and end up getting squashed, end up laughing and hanging out with them, and you end up coming back family, and you be like, man, we was tripping, man, but ever since that, yeah, so.
Absolutely, and that's the like having that safe haven. With that being, that was like the safe house for the family, and I'm talking about like the entire, like literally the entire Gaddis bloodline that was in Indianapolis. That was a safe space for all of them. All of them.
I met so many new people. Oh, this show cousin good on it every time. Every party was a new family member. I was just stopping by. So yeah.
Absolutely. And that's
what we doing July 6th, man.
Yep.
So yeah, man, that's what we doing. If you're not doing nothing, July 6th,
I will be there.
Reunion. Look, all that, you ain't got a family, you got a family now. Family here, we creating this family. This is for people like you, because my wife come from a silver background. Yeah. She come from her mother and daughter, mother and daddy abuse. So she, how to get her situation and build up her family on her own. That's why I asked you. For sure. What are you going to do different, so when you grow your home, that your home is more closer. For sure. These are conversations we need to have and conversations we need to think of. And
and to piggyback off of that, another thing that I would do different is to have conversations. Ooh, because I think my family is the way that it is because conversations are avoided. So that's beautiful that y'all are able to have that community and, that feel. Mm-hmm. But not every family is like that. And I can say that my family is not like that. And I think a lot of our issue, and again, not to, no knock to my family, because I know, sometimes things can be taken personal, but like that's also my point, right? Like a lot of times things are taken personal, and instead of having conversations, people are moving in pride, people are moving in ego, people would rather choose to not make amends as if we aren't family. And so, yeah, what I would do different is to have conversations and drill that point of, nah, at the end of the day, we're still family. Because a lot of people don't have that mentality growing up in their family. It's like, yeah, that's family, but I can't tell you the last time I spoke to him, and it's like it should not be like that. But at the end of the day, it's like if that's the reality of it, it's like it takes two people to mend a relationship. Now that I've been in therapy, I've been reaching back, like, hey, would you be open to come to therapy? Literally reconnected with my dad this year, and he came to therapy.
Damn. Damn.
Right.
That's
But it's
beautiful.
like
I'm glad you brought that up, 'cause
both people got to be willing to do the work, though. And a lot of times you don't always get that.
But you know what's so crazy? I'm glad you brought that up, because I was just about to ask you about that. Because I was having a discussion. I was talking to my people, and I was like, man, you can really tell the difference between women and men. This is a big thing. I didn't notice with men because I don't date. So I'm just talking about on the woman perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You can when I met women back in the day, you know, when I was in the dating pool before I got married, baby mama, my wife, shout out to my wife. Even with her, shit, you can tell the difference with a woman who had a dad and a woman who didn't. And I'm just being 100. And it's like this too with males. So I know we got a fucked up part. So I know some ends on my end where I'm fucked up because I grew up with my mom. So but I'm just saying, when I was dating, you could tell women when dating women who had males in their life who had father figures. Wasn't as easy, you know what I mean? It was hard, bro. You gotta do extra shit. You gotta, then you don't even get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I'm just being 100. I'm just being 100. Shit, that female told me, man, my daddy told me about guys like you. I know what you want, Ronnie Ron. I said, God damn, man. Shout out to Pops. Pops knew what he was doing. Shout out to Pops, man. And that clicked a seed in my head, though. So saying all of that,
keys and seeds.
Yes,
exactly. You said it, not me.
saying all of that, I was gonna say, how do you feel like? Do you feel like that relationship with your father? Did you feel like it played a role
for sure
you and other man?
For sure, and I'm glad you asked because I was literally gonna piggyback off of what you just said. Anyways, I can definitely say the ways in which I can be defensive, the ways in which before starting therapy, I could be avoidant, very quick to cut people off, very quick to just avoid conversations. I attribute that back to the relationship that I had with my dad, or lack thereof. Just having a warped perspective of men, thinking that they all are the same way. They all, are unsafe. And it wasn't just the relationship that I had with my dad, but I would say the relationship that we had, or lack thereof, also led me into situations where I was also taken advantage of by men. So that was also like another layer of trauma of like, oh, okay, so this belief that I already had is merely being reinforced. And so that was another reason why I knew I needed to go to therapy too, because I knew that obviously it's not all men, but when someone's perspective is their perspective based on the experiences that they've had, how can you tell them different? But yeah, I'd say I definitely had a very ready to fight with any man type of mentality. And I knew that wasn't me, because the nature of who I am, not only as a woman, but as a person, like, I have a heart for people. I'm very sensitive, to the point where I remember growing up as a kid always being told I'm too sensitive. But it's like, that's just how God made me. Like, I feel a lot of things deeply. I think a lot of times just the emotions that I had within me that I felt weren't being heard or paid attention to, or and nurtured in the right way, it came out as anger and aggression. So yeah, I'd say it all definitely stemmed back from not having that male presence in my life to help me walk through that.
I think that's a big reason of this war right now.
Yeah, it's like I had to become the masculine in a way to protect myself.
Yep.
I think that's what's going on right now with this big war right now between man versus woman.
Yeah.
It's everybody not realizing nobody had a fucking dad at home. The women hey, listen for real. I've been
Yeah.
realizing it's the woman.
But that's also too not always the solution either.
Yeah.
Because
You right.
sometimes you probably had a dad there,
My
but
wife. Well, let me rephrase it then. Good parent, a good
yeah,
household. We need to bring the good parent household back, the good structured parent household back.
for
I'm gonna
sure.
rephrase that because if you think about it, it's the woman not receiving the right love from the father, and the male he don't never know what the fuck a father's supposed to be like.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody confused, and everyone is missing big ass piece, and it's everybody fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Women trying to tell man how to be man, but we ain't got no man that we can actually look up to.
Yeah.
I trying to teach myself how to be a daddy. You know, I think that's one of the greatest things I ever had to do because I have to look myself in the mirror. But at the same time, it's the hardest thing to do.
For sure.
I have to evaluate everything I do before I do it because I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm acting out of this or I'm acting like that. So I have to evaluate myself a lot before I take precaution. But I know it took me years to develop that and learn that. A lot of men don't get the time to develop and learn that because as black males, we always on the go, go, go. I learned to develop that because I finally had time to halt and think.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's on the woman end. And I feel like a big thing is this too. Because my little sister said this, and I tried to tell her it wasn't true. But now, as I'm grown up as an adult, I know why she said this because her father, or our father, I guess our father, you know, shit, I guess. But she felt like that because how the relationship he was, man gonna do what they want to do. I'm like, nah, sis, if a man really love you, he ain't gonna do it. She's looking at her daddy doing. She's not looking at her brother. She look at it like women see this, they feel like a man goes, they see their dad, right? Their dad comes and barely shows them love. He comes and goes out of their life, right? So that's teaching that little girl that man come and go. So when she get a boyfriend or a husband or something, and that man coming and going, she's gonna still stick around even though the relationship is fucked up because that's the love she get from a man. That's what she was taught and presented. So I'm like, damn, a lot of this shit starting to make sense. That's why man is like
describing my life.
Yeah, this is why
and then
men
it's
are like this. This is why women are like this. It's because we missing pieces. We missing a good home, not just a home. Because like you said, my wife had a father and a mother at home, and he was messing with my wife. So yeah, I agree. I know I just said a lot there.
No, you good. No, this is what the platform is for.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This is why we here though, for real. For you, you were about to say something. No.
I was just saying you was just describing my life, but I was gonna piggyback off of that and say, as a kid too, you don't have the emotional maturity or awareness to really assess what's really going on too.
Yep.
And so as a kid, you're only processing things to the level in which you can understand it. And a lot of times you still grow up with that limiting belief and perspective. And so that's where a lot of it also comes from. But I know just you speaking on the fact that we can grow up as women and see, oh, my dad was in and out of my life, so let me also tolerate this from a man. I know just me speaking for myself as a kid, I remember like crying, like asking like, why am I not good enough for my dad to be present in my life? And I still had that same perspective going into relationships, people pleasing, trying to overextend myself and be good enough for a person to accept me and to choose me back. And I think that that's something that we also have to unlearn, knowing that we should not just tolerate that, but also too, me, myself, learning that I'm enough, period. And I don't have to audition or prove myself for anyone. Either you're for me or you aren't. And so that's something that I had to unlearn too. But definitely just wanted to add that piece to it because a lot of times, obviously, our perspectives come from our childhood. And a lot of times, the decisions that we're making as adults is coming from that unaddressed perspective that's really outdated and wasn't true to begin with.
Agree. One of the biggest things I had to learn, and man, this might sound crazy, but it was not to rob people when you go broke. Man, I thought, I'm for real, man. I thought, shit, when you down and bad, it's time to go find a motherfucker who do got it, and he about to be down and bad, not my ass. Hey, not me, shit. I done did enough, man. A professor told me this, man. A professor. I don't know how she knew I was out here in the street. She said, Ronnie, you are so smart, but it's the environment you was raised in. You have to learn. You have to unlearn what you learned.
And that's exactly how it be.
Never knew what the fuck she was talking about until I started having to learn it. And I'm like, damn. So when you're doing bad, you're supposed to keep going up. You're not supposed to go take it from motherfuckers. Like, so I'm there with you.
All right.
So many different angles. No, you good. Go ahead.
So with that, man, I learned, it's a lot of morals, values, and principles. I sat there off the camera. MVPs, baby. MVPs, man. So
and I love a good abbreviation, alliteration, all that.
Oh yeah, we got the acronyms for days.
Hard. MVPs.
So what's some core morals and values and principles that you follow by every day on a day-to-day basis? Answer everybody this.
Yeah. I feel like that's a loaded question, but you already know what I'm gonna say. Biblical principles all the way. I align my life as best as I can with the way God wants me to. And so that's what I stand on. Whatever God is standing on is what I'm standing on.
I respect that because me too. Standing on something and you own it and you believe it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like I said, I don't give a damn who you believe in. As long as your MVPs is cool, you cool by me, you ain't one of these.
For sure.
Balls, good, man.
For sure.
Life too short to be trying to make you believe what I believe in. Try to make you eat what I eat. Bro, I stress enough about me.
Exactly. I'm not God.
Hey, bro, I ain't got time
I'm not God.
Real shit.
Your relationship with God is your relationship with God.
Yeah, what y'all do? Shit, y'all do what you do when you're on damn turn. Shit, I'm gonna eat what I want to eat, drink what I want to drink, do it. And I don't mean it like that, because I don't want people drinking, thinking I'm an alcoholic. I ain't drunk in years. I don't drink alcohol. I'm for real. It made it seem like I drunk alcohol. I'm gonna drink whatever I want to drink.
I'm glad you said that. I'm like, hey, cuz, don't drink. You don't be drinking.
I just said that because it might be somebody who do drink alcohol here, and they watching this and they can drink what the fuck they want to drink. I said it for that person, you know.
Absolutely.
What I mean? But yeah, man, I'm tapping this thing.
No, you was over there.
You already making beats. You already making beats. Kyndl about to bust 16. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm about to be like, yeah, I'm about to be a hype man. Hey,
I'm crying.
Got the orders over here.
That's it. Leon behind the scenes producing it. Shout out to Leon. We out here. Absolutely. I want to ask you this, Kyndl. What does your tattoo mean?
Which one?
Oh, how many tattoos do you have? How many tattoos do you have?
Okay, so I have a quill. Is that how you say it? An ink bottle.
Okay.
This really just represents my love for writing. And with the colors, with my creativity. I think the one you was referring to is the one on my arm/wrist. It's an audio slider to represent my love for music. Also too, my study at Ball State was telecommunications with a concentration in audio production.
Okay.
So I got this after I graduated. I have a Queen of Hearts on my ring finger. I actually got this on Father's Day some years back. This was a self-love type of message to myself I'm a queen with or without a ring on my finger type vibes. Choosing myself before, fishing for a man to choose me. That's kind of the sentiment behind it. People always think it's a matching tattoo. I'm like, nah. And then I have a tattoo on my shoulder that says Clan 275. It's a nod to a group called Raider Clan that inspired me as an artist. I'm sure y'all probably heard of ASAP, ASAP Mob, Pro Era. It was an underground group that came up around that time. So yeah.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always want to ask like those unorthodox questions just to really get the invoke the emotion behind the ink behind the person.
For sure.
So there's always a message and something.
For sure.
No, I really have no reason to. I haven't had that level of inspiration.
He gonna get tattooed when he's 50, y'all.
I might, if I do get a tattoo, what tattoo would I get? I would consider getting my children's names.
I was just about to say.
You should get a square.
And what we say any other episode? What we be saying?
Get a square.
It be your own people. It be your own people. That's crazy. I'm the least square of the people he know. That's crazy.
I promise, bro. You the perfect square, 90-degree angle.
Not a perfect square.
On all four corners, man.
They equal 360. I'll take it. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's dope though. Like the stories behind the tattoos, and I always love asking those type of questions. Let me ask you this though.
Okay.
What is better question? Where do you see your family in the next 5 to 10 years?
Closer to God, by the example that I'm leading, hopefully, prayerfully, and healed, healthier. I know it starts with me. I can't do the work for anybody, but I know that I can do the work on myself and lead by example to the best way I can. And so hopefully in the next 5 to 10 years, those around me can see, oh, okay, it's actually working for her. She might know something. Because I feel like a lot of times, too, the family that we come from can be, just stuck in their ways and closed-minded.
Yep.
But once they see things start working out, it's like they got to see the proof first. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, you say you following God, you say you in therapy, but I'm still about to hold you to this old version of yourself. Mm-hmm. And I feel like sometimes you still have to prove yourself in a way. And it's not that I'm doing that to do that, but to answer your question, hopefully in the next 5 to 10 years, I've personally evolved to a place where I've set an example that's inspiring for my family and those closest to me to follow behind.
I love that. I love every part of that. That's beautiful. You sound like a lineage leader to me, Kyndl.
Thank you.
Shout out to the lineage leaders out there.
Lineage leaders.
Out the gate.
Who we call on our podcast. So this is Lead Your Lineage, and we got lineage leaders. People who lead their families by example. People who do and go out and set it off and show how things should be going.
And I'll take that. That just made me think of how when I was younger, I was always that kid that had questions for everything. And I think who we are as people and the purpose that we're meant to have here can always be traced back to our childhood too, right?
Yep.
And I don't know, as a kid, I've always just known I was different. I always just thought about things differently. I've always just looked into things deeper. People have tried to gaslight me and, oh, it's not that deep, or oh, you too sensitive. And it's like, nah, I know who I am. And I feel like just over the years, I lost my way just because of the upbringing that I had and, just conditioning and, just all of the things. But as I grow older, I feel like I'm returning back to that.
That's good.
So yeah.
I'm glad you said
It's
that.
powerful.
Because that sometimes there's some things in the old you that were actually good that you done killed off. Because I learned that, man. You can't kill. You gotta find the good and the positive in the old.
For
You
sure.
can't kill everything.
For sure.
Yep.
Cause everything sometimes is good. And one thing I did kill of me when I became this new me, I killed that. Getting that shit back.
Absolutely.
I'm growling at motherfuckers. You gonna watch my podcast. You gonna buy my clothes. You gonna represent me. You gonna buy this book. Otherwise, I'm gonna be kicking down your door and be like, "Hey, here go my book. Here go my." And you
Absolutely.
with my clothes. You're gonna be in your house. You're like, man, he didn't rob me. He just made me buy his stuff.
Absolutely.
So you know what I mean. So
and I'm happy you said that.
Yeah,
Because
it's just the truth.
me just attributing everything back to God, that makes me think of how before coming into Christ, we may have been one version of ourselves, but even things that we may want to kill off, God redeems. So you just even using an example of, anger. God can take something that was anger that was worldly, but turn it around for righteous passion.
Yep.
I don't know if y'all read the word, but it makes me think of how Paul was first Saul and he went around killing Christians, and then right after that he was just on fire for God. So it's like, just speaking to that point, there could be qualities or traits about ourselves that really are great qualities. They're just being used in the wrong way.
Real talk. Real talk. No, like legit.
Yeah, that's real.
You're using the wrong way because my brother is intelligent to this day. But he just used it in the wrong way.
And you said something earlier too about, I don't remember exactly what you said. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it made me think of how in the hood there's so many intelligent kids, but because of their environment, their intelligence is being used and manipulated in the wrong way.
Talk about it.
My brother, man, I wish.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah,
it's really sad. Like I was,
not only my brother, this dude, big brother, smart as hell too, but same situation. Keeping it 100.
Yeah, and now I'm seeing how that's trickling down too, like to the younger generation.
For sure.
Like to children, right? And like today I had a conversation at the school I was speaking at, and the last session, one of the young guys was like, "Man, can we stop having this conversation? It's making me sad, or this is sad, or something along those lines." I was like, "I feel you. You right.
Yeah.
It is." But also too, on the other side of that, y'all out here y'all want to make grown decisions and make grown moves, which I don't know the consequences of those things.
For sure.
And I'm like, I don't want to preach to y'all, but nobody's gonna tell y'all the other side of it and keep it real with y'all like this. Cause y'all just want to go and have fun all day, and that's cool. I feel you. Go be a child.
Right.
But y'all want to make adult decisions right now and still be a child. They ain't how life works.
Teacher, but if you can prevent it, yeah.
So it was kind of it was. We were having a conversation. I was like, damn, I didn't think about it like that. That's sad.
Yeah.
And then the energy in the room dropped when I was having the conversation about what we was talking about. But I was like, y'all got to get, like, y'all not, if y'all don't get
you
this
planted
now,
those seeds though.
Yeah, like if
that's what they need.
Exactly. If they didn't get it now, they gonna get it at 25, at 30. And I was like, oh shit, real out here. I wish I would have paid more attention back then.
Exactly.
And it's like, damn. What's up?
Yeah, I was in trouble a lot. So I know that these programs did exist. I was in them. I was in no, for real. I was in jail, all that. Problem is, these programs don't work. Problems is, you talk to me now. I gotta remember, I was that kid who y'all talking about, bro. That shit go out one ear out the other one. It sounds good at that moment. After I hit the home.
Yep, absolutely.
After I hit them streets, Bro, I forgot everything you was talking about, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything
real
is
shit.
different, bro. Everything is different. So I feel like this program is great, but we just gotta reform.
Yeah.
How we on reform, man? I gotta watch and see, man. Cause
Yeah.
I'm on a plan to do that, and I'm not no gatekeeper, so we can talk about it all day. But I'm just saying, it gotta be more. We gotta do more than just being at the schools. A lot of my guys wasn't even at fucking school.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yep.
You know what I mean,
Real
bro?
talk.
Like, most of my guys weren't even at school. You mean people at school? Not you. Not you. I'm just saying.
No, yeah, I know,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I just want
I'm
to
with
know.
you.
I ain't talking about my damn cousin, man. Even if I was, I'm the only one who can. And none of the rest of you motherfuckers can. But anyway, yeah, we these programs just gotta expand, man. We gotta do more. We gotta be on the block. We gotta go on the block where they was at. Man, I feel like, man, people came on the block. I actually was like, hey, bro, I know y'all ain't gotta be out here. I know y'all can hop in this car and we can show y'all. School is just school, bro. Ain't no money in that shit. People, man, people on the when we trying to fix this, we need to fix it.
You gotta meet them where they are.
Yeah, funds, bro. That education shit, bro.
Yeah.
That I can learn something. I can be smart. But how the fuck my little bro and me gonna eat, bro? Is it gonna bear to? Am I gonna bear to take this education right now? Not 10 years from now. Not 5 motherfucking months. I'm talking about right now.
And I'm glad you said that because I was literally about to say, I feel like, of course, on one hand, a lot of kids are just following behind what they saw modeled to them. And a lot of them probably do know right from wrong, but they still see the people who have what it is they want. And I think it all boils down to the fact that a lot of them are also just living in survival mode. So it's like you can tell them right from wrong all day. They can know right from wrong. But like you said, is this education going to put some money in my pockets today? No. Like you said earlier, if I'm down right now and then somebody else is up, we both about to be down, or one of us about to be up, and it ain't about to be you. Like,
something. Yeah. I can't. This information is good, bro. If I can't use it and get tangible, and a lot of
tangible and practical.
And a lot of people gotta remember, bro. Motherfuckers go home to their parents. I keep telling people this,
exactly.
Man, we gotta help the adults a lot, man. Cause went to go talk to some adults. A couple months ago. I don't know, was that this year or last year? I forgot. But he had a good impact with them. He saw what I was saying. Like, it's the adults. We gotta help the adults. And
they the ones be enabling it a lot of times.
Like we gotta.
You'll call home and they like, why you calling me?
Yeah, I done seen it, man. Niggas
and also,
shit, well, I ain't even gonna say one of my guys. I ain't even gonna tell who it was, but one of my guys, man. We was walking home. We saw his mama. His mama, he was raised by, not too much information because they gonna know who I'm talking about. He was raised, because he my father. He was raised by some other people in his family. And we was coming, man, we just came from something. It was like supposed to be like a little positive event. Man, we came back, man, and we saw his mama on the street, you know, 'cause she was on drugs real bad. We had to clean it and all that, man. That shit, like, won't you, like, if that took a toll on me, imagine what it took it on him. Seeing his mama naked in the street, dirty, and all that shit. We gotta help him pick her up and all that shit, man. Like, man, we gotta help. Like, man, whatever we was learning that day, I don't remember, bro, because that moment right there fucked me up. Like, God damn. So these people going home to shit that
real life.
Trauma, you remember trauma before you remember positive. So these people going home to trauma, bro. People going home to trauma. We gotta fix the homes, man. It's trauma, man. I'm telling you, man. These homes, bro.
Man.
They definitely start, and everything starts with family.
Say it again.
Everything starts with family.
Agreed.
And and like in the discussions,
our first teachers.
That's it. Like that's where you get your spirituality from. That's where you get your financial from. That's where you get your physical habits from. How you show up mentally and emotionally, and also how you socialize amongst your family too.
Literally.
You get all of you get those 6 key pillars of self from your family when you first jump out your mama womb. That's the first experience that you get. But we don't see the value in putting the family back together yet. So like Lead Your Lineage is designed to make being around family cool again. We gotta literally redefine what family means. And it's a tall task that it's gonna take a lot out of us individually and collectively to do this work. But it ain't gonna be for it ain't for everybody. But literally, if we want to move the needle some kind of way, this ain't gonna happen overnight. Everybody in this room know that. But we want to move the needle forward. We gotta put an emphasis on family, fixing the family.
Say that again, though, because that was great, fixing the family. But like you said, a lot of people don't understand that part. When you said a lot, putting the needle forward, it's not gonna fix it right now.
Hell no, it ain't. It's too much shit to fix right now.
Because that's why I had to tell myself.
Fuck no.
I had to tell myself as a parent, bro, just fix as much as you can.
Yeah.
I can't fix everything. My kids are not gonna be fucking away from all the generational curses.
Let me ask you this as a parent now, knowing that you've experienced dysfunction, right? Are you focusing on fixing I'm just putting this in like broad words. Are you focused on fixing a bunch of small traumas, or are you focused on fixing that big major trauma? Which one are you focused on as a parent? Or is it a combination of both?
To be honest, it's a combination of both, and whatever I see present for them. It's not a personal thing. It's whatever they need. I always keep telling people everything. We gotta stop being so fucking personal. And we gotta be looking into the person who you're trying to help. So whatever traumas I see that they going through, that's what I help. And if it's something that I can relate to, I help. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, you did that for me. Let me help you. Like my son with his little anger issues, man. I had to take anger management classes and all that shit. I don't even like talking about that. But I had to do some things with my anger, man. So I just be doing it with him, and it's been helping tremendously. So it's really a mixture of those two things, and whatever they present. Because we gotta always remember, shit. Sometimes your kids can have a whole new trauma from a whole that you never had because it skipped generations. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It skipped you, but it didn't skip them. You know? So shit, man. You just gotta know, cuz.
Absolutely. That's real. Real shit.
You gotta look at them. Pay attention to your kids.
Most definitely.
Tight.
Man, so how y'all feeling?
It's
been a powerful conversation, man.
I'm feeling good, baby.
Been a powerful conversation, man.
Tipping ain't easy. I see everything easy. Hey, look, they say tipping ain't easy, but somebody gotta do it, and you're looking at the man right here. I'm tipping, baby. I'm tipping. I'm making it look easy. I'm making it look better than tipping ain't easy, dude. You ain't got nothing on me.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I love it. My man. Yeah, man. Let's wrap this thing up. Y'all ready? Ready to roll? I'm hungry. You hungry? Hell yeah.
Shout out to my wife. They got me on my shout out. First of all, hold on. Let me get this quick shout out. And then I want you to do for me after I get this shout out. Okay. I want you to tell them where they can find you, where they can follow your podcast, where they can support you at with your artists as an artist and everything else, and give them all your social taglines. Let me give a shout out real quick. Shout out to my wife, because that food gonna be good. I know that food gonna be good. Shout out to my my baby Capra. Woo! She's a handful, but I love her. Shout out to my son and shout out to my daughter. I told him I said shout out to my son, my only boy, my only son, and shout out to my oldest daughter. My daughter told me to make sure I didn't forget to give her a shout out today.
I love it.
Sure, I give everybody a shout out.
For sure.
You sound like you got an old soul. You older than what you is. Please.
You do.
Please.
He does. It's so older than me. It's crazy. He dance like he old too. But all right, yeah.
You my cousin, because I was about to say, well, she better ask your mama how I dance, but she my cousin. We can go ahead and do that for you.
It closes out, kid.
Once again, my name is Kyndl, Kyndl. You can search up my name wherever you get your music if you like to tap into my music. Formerly known as American, AMERIKKKEN. The 3 K stand for knowledge and kindness is key. I have music out everywhere under both names. My podcast, Keys and Seeds Podcast, Keys and seeds, unlocking purpose by planting potential wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube. Yeah, tap in with me. I'm just continuing these type of conversations from my perspective. I'm sharing my journey of what I'm learning in therapy, what I'm learning as I grow closer to God, and I have conversations with others about their journey. And so, of course, thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate it.
Feels good to be on the other side.
Yes,
Definitely
ma'am.
looking forward to having you guys on my pod and just continuing the conversation. So, yeah.
One more thing. Years, decades from now, your grandchildren are gonna watch this.
Mm-hmm.
What message would you give to your grandchildren? They're watching this 40 years from now. What would you say to them right now?
That's a great question.
Oh,
I want to say
Thank
keep
you.
God first, but I don't want to be cliche, so I really want to be more intentional. Study your family. A lot of who we are can be traced back to our family members, of course, as we've already discussed. My family isn't that close, and so there's still a lot that I don't know about my family personally. But even when it comes down to like just health history, right? And as he said, sometimes things can skip over generations. There's nothing new under the sun. None of us are as unique as we would like to think that we are. And so I would say never stop learning about yourself and the family you come from, the environment that you come from. And yeah, know that all of it plays a key role into who you are as a person and more than likely what you're facing and going through right now. So yeah.
It's powerful. My family, you can't end it no better than that, man.
I think we gotta end it on that note.
That's fire.
I'll
That's
take
fire.
that.
Yo, family, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Lead Your Lineage podcast.
Y'all know what it is.
As we always love to say, lead yourself so you can lead your lineage. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Bye.
Hey, if your baby mama or your wife can cook, send me a plate. Or if you can cook,
Send me a vegan joint. You feel me?
I'm hungry.
Ooh-wee. I ain't gonna lie, I've been holding in the pee.